Okay, so Davide, we need to discuss the season. It was the first year for Fluoro Free racing on the World Cup.
Yeah.
This is exciting because we've been working on Fluoro Free already since 2019 when it became so difficult to import fluoro material to the US. And we spoke and we decided we'll go full speed with Fluoro Free.
Yes, and this was something that helped us very, very much because we've been lucky to collaborate with you and with all athletes in the US that help us to develop a complete line of fluoro-free products. For fish, it was more than 1 year, later, and at the end this year, it was the right one.
Yep.
And I can say that we were ready for it, and I can say that we are very happy about what happened during this season. Already during summer, we have a lot of people, teams, national teams coming to our factory. I'm sure they have been visiting all other factories, so they are not coming only by us. But all national teams were interested to learn about things. Everybody was starting from zero, so they need to have information. And it was nice to be able to support them with this information and with a complete line already working with liquids, powder, block, different way of applying product, good brushes, good tool to apply the product. Yeah. So it was good. And already in the beginning of the season in Lucca, the request of the product was quite high. I was out of product quite soon in the beginning of the week.
Yep.
We made a lot of tests there, and for example, the polar was very working, the powder, liquids also, and durable, which was something, it was something new.
Yeah.
It was already tested in the US for 1 year, but it was something new. Not all teams has it already. Yeah. So it was a good start of the season.
Yeah, and this was just already in Lucca. It was starting at full speed.
Yes, it was because a lot of team was starting earlier.
Yeah.
During the summer, they was doing a lot of tests in the glacier, in the tunnel, and we had the product ready for them, and they've been able to test them. Yeah. So they were in a good level. So even in Lucca, they had them, and they've been able to test. And for sure, they were good because the request was quite high. Yeah. Going on during the season, I was following mostly cross-country and the biathlon races, but also in Ockfilzen for the biathlon race, for example, I can say that the regular next powder and red liquid was working very well.
Yeah.
So it was a good start of this season.
Yeah, it was fun for us when after the COVID break, we came back to racing and it was almost exclusively Fluoro Free then. And we had 2 years of testing behind us. And for the business, it was crazy because everyone had to build the wax box up from nothing around Fluoro Free. So it was big sales.
Yes, and this was also a problem for our side because even if we were expecting this happening for 3 years, we were not ready for so much request.
Yeah. So you saw big growth this year.
Yes, it was really amazing. And this was not only for the World Cup level, but in the Scandinavia, every ski clubs has to change completely their max case.
Yeah.
So, and all brushes. So the demand was so high, and it was almost difficult to be able to supply the requested quantity.
Yes.
So it was very hard time.
Yeah, so we're coming from an industry where, of course, we were previously producing and selling a lot of fluoro material. It was very expensive. And as we moved to Fluoro Free, we've had a lot of discussions about how to set the pricing, and we can see in the industry that there are different approaches from different companies. And I think we have agreed from the start that we take a very moderate approach, that we don't set the price super high. Also, a little bit unique. I think you felt strong from the beginning that we make one race line of product, not tiers of, like, to emulate the way it was with fluoro, with high fluoro and medium and low fluoro. It's really just next product is racing product. not so many lines. Instead, different ways of working with material, different ways of applying with the liquid and the fleece applied block and the powder. This was your idea for spreading things out and creating more opportunity for performance. What we saw was that in absolute dollars sold, we were up, even though the material is cheaper. So it's less dollars per application, less dollars per unit sold, but total volume has more than made up for the loss of fluoro material. How is it for you? It has to be a little different in Europe. I mean, you've sold so much fluoro for so long. What have you seen in, has Fluoro Free come up to the level where the total sales numbers in Europe are equivalent, or is it?
For this first season, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because everyone needs to refill the wax case.
Yeah.
But I think that people understand that the right price is corresponding to the performance.
Yeah.
So if you're promising very high performance with very high price, and then the expectation is not true,
Right.
you feel like you have been cheated.
Yeah.
So of course we start to sell this product when fluoro was still allowed.
Yes.
So if the performance is not the same, I felt not correct to promising the same performance because this could not be. And so you cannot sell a small car with the price of a Ferrari if it's not a Ferrari anymore.
Yeah.
So,
But then you make Ferrari illegal.
yes.
No, I remember when we were talking all the way back in 2019, 2020, I think I had to bring your price up. I had to suggest, no, Davide, we have to, it has to be business for everybody, you know,
Yes.
because there's lights and there's this whole building and the factory, you have overhead and you have
Yes.
pay the company. And so I think you had some real work to do to try to forecast and figure out what made sense to continue with the business. Of course, you need to make some profit and we need to make some profit, but we don't need to reclaim all of the dollars spent per unit from the start. And so we've had to set a middle ground. Does it feel like it's appropriate for you? Is it at a good level, or do we need to be like pushing prices? What do we need to do?
Of course, everybody would like to have bigger margin, but I think that the quality we are offering is the right price for what we are offering. So I don't feel necessary to reach this very high price. We have our margin, and even if there's a lot of technology inside, we can work in this direction.
Okay.
Can be helpful for everybody, also because there's a lot of talking of this too expensive stuff for skin. Everything is very expensive. Also the national teams has problem. They do not have so much money anymore to spend. So in a way we are like keeping surviving this way of working, and I think it's good for everybody.
Yeah. It would be nice if the performance of a product was directly following the price, like it was with fluoro to a degree, you know, because then you kind of know you're buying performance for the money you spend, but it's not that way now. Sometimes the cheapest or the less expensive is better than the most expensive. Anyway, I've been satisfied in our market. It's a defensible price. You know, we can explain it. This is the price. It's a fair price. Performance is very good.
Yes.
And I feel that it is performing absolutely as well as anything out there. And I think you saw that with feedback this year.
Yes, we have a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
As I said, we have great contact with almost every national team, starting already in summer.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of feedback. Of course, I cannot say this race was used that and that race was used another product.
Yeah, so what is your agreement with teams in terms of sharing information? Is it just implicit, understood that you don't share information from each team, or are there agreements signed, or is it just professional conduct?
It's a professional conduct. Yeah. It's quite stupid to give out information. It's a very small world.
Yeah.
If I say something, after 2 days,
Yeah.
everybody will know it. And then for me, people will not trust me anymore. So for me, there's no interest. My job when I'm in World Cup, it's to collect information and to share information with teams in a confidential way, so that they help me in developing new product.
Yeah.
New product then will be shared with all.
Yeah.
But I cannot say this team has used this for winning this race, because it's not
Even
fair.
to me, you can't tell.
No,
You
no,
won't.
no.
I asked, no, but who was using it? I can't say. It was a big team.
Yes. Of course, not all national team are telling me today we race on this product, but the information also coming from the sales. So if on a race they are coming asking me for that product, quite often it's because they are using it during this location place for the race, or they have been using it the week before and they want to refill the case. So
You see, sometimes they come the day before a race and they buy some, and then they come after the race and they buy more.
Yes.
And like you told me on the phone, you said, I think they spilled a lot of powder. So you have some idea that it's being used.
Yes, but we have really collect a lot of information, and many things have helped me in developing, in understanding something that maybe for me it was not really 100% clear. I learned from them, and they have learned from me. So it's a good way of collaborating, and in the interest of all.
Yeah. So it's been an exciting year.
Yes, really exciting. From the beginning to the end, in different races. Even I was not present in GOMS, for example, in Switzerland, but I had the feedback from team that some of the new dark product were very well performing there. So for me, it was like, okay, they trust me enough to tell me it. So this is good for me.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.